Sorry. Hey, thank you so much for joining us on a brand new episode of 420 grams. देखो जी, इम्फाल में चाहे जितने भी चांस मिस किए, हमारा भाई पवन पुत्र हनुमान ज़्यादा ऐसे दिन देखने को नहीं मिलते जब भाई का दिन अच्छा नहीं रहा है। लेकिन नज़रिए के ऊपर डिपेंड करते हैं। 90 मिनट खेला नहीं भाई, अपना बड़े दिन बाद 90 मिनट खेलने को आया एंड someone has but anyway he was there in the right positions and he was there but goal नहीं आया यहाँ पे लेकिन the Indian team overall you would say not scoring a goal is not something new. We've always seen that we've had a problem in Indian football. Where are the goal scorers? But they were creating chances. They were dominating play. They were physically much more superior than that Myanmar team, and there's no doubt about it. मैं तो दिल्ली में बैठ के गेम देख रहा था. हमारे यहाँ पे देखो डेडिकेशन की भी दात होती है. रेनेडी भाई और एनी भाई एक ही कमरे में बैठे हैं. ऐसा नहीं कि अलग बैठे हैं. अगर आप चाहते तो एक दूसरे को हाई फाइव दे सकते हो यहाँ पे, बट ताकि हमारे जो प्यारे प्यारे आप लोग दोस्त ये देख रहे हो शो, ताकि आपको अलग अलग स्क्रीन दिखें. ऐसा ना हो ना कि थोड़ा मुश्किल हो जाए आप लोगों के लिए. रेनेडी भाई, गुड टू सी यू. हाउ वाज इट? How was it in the game for you?
Brother, like I was talking to Siddhant yesterday, in the first match we shouldn't judge too much. We are playing in Manipur for the first time, and Myanmar is our neighbor. So yes, it will always be tough. And player coming back and playing together for the national team after a long time. Even though as individual they have played, some of them have played very good football with the club. They have to gel better with the Indian team over here. So yes, 1-0 is I think it's not a bad result. We could have played better, but let's see in the next match if we can play better or not.
रेंडी भाई, जब तक ये गोल आया नहीं, वर यू थिंकिंग ये वो वाला दिन होने वाला है कि आप लगे हुए और फिर म्यांमार शायद कुछ कर दे? जब तक गोल नहीं आया.
If you look back, अगर देखेगा म्यांमार के साथ इतना बड़ा रिजल्ट कहीं नहीं हुआ है. Of course, yes, in our time we have won, but before that, in 1955-60, I think India have lost 8-9-0. So if you go by the record, Myanmar has got a better record than India head to head. So yes, but and Myanmar was not playing coming out all attack, but they were playing out on counter attack. So it's always difficult when the team is sitting down to break down whatever we may say. Of course, that's why it doesn't look great football from India, because they didn't give that space. So there are a lot of players who are trying to. Then when they are sitting back, are we like we always talk about? Are we ready to play that game? Where we are trying to stretch the defenders. No, we still have a long way to go on that. But 1-0, I feel it's not a bad result. It's the first match after a long time, and they will only get better and they have to play well.
रेडी भाई, व्हाट डू यू गेट आउट द गेम प्ले? बिकॉज आप स्टेडियम में थे, तो हम तो चलो टीवी के थोड़े हैंडीकैप्ड हैं, तो हमें वो एंगल दिख रहा है. In terms of the way the team was moving, in terms of the way, because eventually by the 70th minute वो थक गए थे म्यांमार वाले, तो वो तो गेम में थे ही नहीं उसके बाद. But up until that 70th minute, आपको क्या लगा जिस तरीके से टीम मूव कर रही थी and how they were lined up?
Oh, of course, India were trying to shift the position and all, but Myanmar को उतना difficulties नहीं हो रहा था. Of course, yes, we have created 2-3 chances, लेकिन Myanmar इतना भी नहीं है कि लोग डर के खेल रहा था. They are not a fit team. 75 minutes, like you said, I totally agree. 65-70 minutes, they were gone. But India, pehla first half, if we see, we couldn't break them down by stretching the defense or the midfielder. So India has to do better, because अभी जितना भी हम लोग म्यांमार से खेलेगा, बांग्लादेश से खेलेगा, पाकिस्तान से खेलेगा, they will sit back and we have to play. So now when we play against Qatar, we always know that we have a lot of space. We can go on counter attack, and the football looks better because you will go on a fast attack. When the whole team is sitting down in the own half, and we have that enough quality players to break them down. I think we have to do a lot of work on that. I feel it wasn't the best breaking down. Yeah.
इशफाक सर, कैमरे पे आ गए हो आप, बाल मत बनाओ आप.
अरे नहीं, सेट कर रहा था. किधर है कैमरा? किधर है? मेरे को समझ नहीं आ रहा.
कैमरे पे नहीं देख रहे आप, कैमरा सामने आपके, आप नहीं देख रहे कैमरे पे.
अच्छा, इधर है.
हाँ, ये आप बताओ जी, आपको क्या लगा गेम? क्योंकि डोमिनेट तो किया है टीम ने इन टर्म्स ऑफ प्रीटी मच एवरी डिपार्टमेंट. गोल नहीं मारते, ये पुरानी कहानी है, तो ऐसा नहीं है कि कोई नई कहानी है कि गोल नहीं मार रहे. आज वो बंदे का भी ऑफ डे चल रहा था इन अ सेंस, तो चलो गोल नहीं आया, बट अदर देन दैट ओवरऑल व्हाट डिड यू गेट द फील फ्रॉम दिस गेम?
मसला वही आ जाता है ना, फिर अगर सुनील ने गोल नहीं मारेगा तो और फिर कौन मारेगा? तो मुझे लगता है कि दैट्स वेयर वी आर गेटिंग स्टक, आई थिंक, काइंड ऑफ। रेनिडी भाई ने राइटली बोला, मैं सुन रहा था उनको, क्योंकि वो लाइव देख रहे थे, और लाइव में एक्चुअली पता चलता है, जब आप सामने देखते हो ना, तो प्लेयर क्वालिटी पूरा पता चलता है। और मैं एक चीज बताऊं कि मुझे लगा कि जो म्यांमार, दे वर वेरी कंफर्टेबल विद द बॉल, इवन दो मतलब हम लोग डोमिनेट कर रहे थे, लेकिन बहुत ही ज्यादा कंफर्टेबल थे विद बॉल। और वो लोग वो बिटवीन द लाइक जिसको हम लोग कहते हैं कि डिफेंस और मिडफील्ड के लाइन में बीच में बॉल पकड़ रहे थे, आ रहे थे, एटलीस्ट दे वर ट्राइंग। आई थॉट कि हम लोग प्योर स्पीड के ऊपर खेल रहे थे, काउंटर अटैक, मतलब even though we dominated, but still kind of hint of counter attacks were there many times.
Would you agree कि ये इस टीम का रियलिटी है कि आप चाहे लोएस्ट से लोअर टीम खेलो, अच्छी से अच्छी टीम खेलो, आप डोमिनेट या स्लो डाउन करके गेम कंट्रोल नहीं करोगे। आप जब अपने उनके हाथ में जाओगे तो आप पेस से ही जाओगे आगे।
नहीं, लेकिन स्पीड भी है, विंग्स पे है स्पीड, एंड दैट मेक्स सेंस समटाइम्स। बट जो रेनिडी भाई बोल रहा था कि मतलब डू वी हैव, मतलब आगे जाके लाइक we could have played more crosses coming in. Really unfortunate कि Sunil couldn't hit the target. He hit the target but on the wrong side. तो
oh, good save था sir, good save था.
Fabulous
save. It was a good save.
Good
reaction.
मैं बोल रहा हूँ उसने 2 सेव बहुत अच्छा किया यार फर्स्ट हाफ में। मुझे लगता है कि
long shot
वाला long shoot and both were reaction saves. And जब आप 1-0 लीड करते हो ऐसे टीम के साथ और फिर अचानक से वो लोग गोल दागते हैं, फिर देन मतलब ऐसा लग रहा था कि ऐसा ना हो जाए, क्योंकि उनको भी कुछ चांसेस मिले, दे कुडंट आल्सो, स्पेशली इन फर्स्ट हाफ, उनको भी सेट पीसेस पे कुछ ओपन हेडर मिले, लेकिन बाय उस टाइम पे हम लोग को 3-4 तो ऑलरेडी मिले थे, और विच सुनील्स लेवल, आई एम श्योर कि मुझे लगा एक पेनल्टी भी था, इवन दो सुनील शुड हैव स्कोर्ड दैट फर्स्ट, ही मिस्ड इट। तो मुझे लगा वो
क्यों नहीं दिया भाई साहब ने वो, तो
मुझे लगा कि फिर भी उसको पीछे से उसने मारा, तो
दोनों पैर से, वो भी सर दोनों पैर से झपट्टे मारे उसने,
तो यू कैन से कि बहुत दिनों के बाद खेल रहे, और ये भी हो सकता है कि मतलब अभी वो रिदम में आ रहे थे। ये वो गोल आप जो दिखा रहे हैं, मुझे लगा वहां पे भी थोड़ा बहुत लकी रहे हम लोग, क्योंकि डिफेंडर से लग के वापस आ गई उसको, और वो भी 6 यार्ड बॉक्स में। मुझे लगता था कि अगर वो क्लियर करते तो ये भी चांस, लाइक वेरी लकी टू गेट दैट रिबाउंड, बट दैट्स हाउ लाइक समटाइम्स दीज गेम्स आर, बट यू नीड। मुझे लगा जब इन्होंने ये गोल मारा तो और मारेंगे, अनफॉर्चुनेटली लाइक वी हैव टू डू बेटर। किर्गिस्तान में मुझे लगता है कि वो लोग फिजिकली स्ट्रांग है and all that, we have to see how what kind of strategy will be that, but लेकिन यही होता है बाद में, जैसे भाई बोल रहा था बांग्लादेश भी गोल, क्योंकि मतलब उनके साथ भी उनको भी 1-2 चांस मिलेंगे, हर एक टीम को मिलते ही मिलते हैं इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे, और फिर अगर हमने अपने मौके बुनाए नहीं और फिर अचानक से गोल खाते हैं, देन हम लोग सोचते हैं कि ये क्या हुआ। लेकिन चलो, समटाइम्स विन इज विन। Fantastic crowd, by I must say, like that was the highlight of the match. I think that was brilliant with those mobile waves. I won't call them Mexican waves because pura andhere mein mobile waves but superb. Great support by
एनी भाई। कैसा लगा माहौल? सॉरी, पहले आई हैड टू गेट रेनेडी भाई एंड अशवाकन, बट
No.
कैसा था माहौल? हाउ वाज द डे? 3 PM gates had opened, and then by when was it a full stadium? By 5? Was that the case?
Oh, it was filling up, man. It filled up also. I mean, by full by kickoff time. Sorry,
आवाज
it was
hollow आ रही है
almost
आपकी।
completely full. I think maybe Randy's mic is also catching my audio, so mic can you
दोनों एक ही फ्रेम में आना था फिर।
अरे सर, ये नहीं, ये मैंने बोला था कि अलग-अलग फ्रेम में होना चाहिए। हाँ, much better.
अब नहीं आ रहा ना। हाँ, तो वो because ये mics these days are pretty dangerous, सब पकड़ लेते हैं।
Thank you for telling us that. हाँ।
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, so like we were chatting after the game, actually, Randy and I, the crowd here is quite knowledgeable. People know football, yeah. So in a way, it kind of when you have a full house, but the full house is not cheering for the team. It's it's a bit of a double-edged sword. They are hoping for good football. They are hoping for the kind of football that we are hoping for them to play. Otherwise, there's very little cheering. Of course, the Mexican waves and all the mobile stuff, all that happens because you're on television. तो वो samosa party तो होता ही है. But otherwise, mostly the crowd is quite educated about football. Many people here play the sport. So unless you're playing quality football, it's very difficult to get the crowd enthused about what is happening on the pitch.
So what are you saying? They weren't on in
no,
that
people
sense?
are watching the game. People are watching the game, but like you when you I don't know, when you watch a club game or something, you have the ultras who you have the one guy who is not even watching the game. He's just facing the crowd and organizing chants, right? Making noise, pumping things up, getting the energy levels high, also to put pressure on the other team. That kind of stuff, I was a bit kind of disappointed that the regular fans who come to watch India games, the guys who have the chants and make the noise, they were not here. I don't know why. Tickets were available online. I would have imagined more people should have traveled for the game and come down to watch it and sort of bring in that part of the flavor of the sort of event into it. Maybe it'll warm up. I don't know, but end of the day, I mean, I listened to what you guys were saying, but
you can't blame them, right? You can't blame them for not getting because they weren't very probably the last 20 they came into life. They came into life. Last 20, 25.
Yeah, it was a bit of a disappointing game. Again, like I don't enjoy singling out players, but like a couple of guys were like absolutely. I'm hard pressed to understand why we don't have replacements for them.
You're missing the camera, much like Changte was missing a lot of his crosses.
Missing the camera. I can't figure this out, man. I don't know how to. I don't know which way to go. Like, समझ में नहीं आ रहा.
No, that's fine. Now it's fine. हाँ जी.
हाँ, तो थोड़ा सा disappointing था यार. I thought the wing play could have been better. I thought Bipin, Changte, Rahul Bheke was absolutely atrocious as he has been regularly for India. I'm not sure what he's doing in this team. Again, like nothing personal. Maybe I'll meet him later on and he'll give me one tight slap. Fair enough, I'll take it.
उसको बोल देना हमारी बैक है, डरना नहीं है.
It's just my opinion, but I think because we are looking ahead to the Asian Cup and things like that, we are going to play against better opposition. We're going to play against the Kyrgyz. ऐसा मतलब he will get beaten for pace and then he'll end up fouling, and then if it's in the box it will be a penalty and the same story will repeat itself.
To be fair to him, the only goal of the game came courtesy his cross. Because the guy in front of him was not even doing that. हमारा Changte भाई, it's a different story. मतलब वो तो कर ही नहीं पा रहा था. But I know
I don't know
saying,
whether it's pressure or what it is, but like you see, like Ishfaq was also talking about the pace and all of that. You see Changte knocking the ball 30 yards ahead, and he can beat the guy dead on for pace. Right, there's no doubt about it. But then you get in that position, you have players running forward in the box. You have Sunil there. You have a guy on. Who's running towards the far post, but the ball that's coming in, the quality is missing, man, unfortunately. And I don't know. I met Steemach in the afternoon briefly, and he was talking about the lack of training grounds here because there are 3 teams. It's been raining. All of those issues are there. But you don't need a training ground to practice this stuff, man. They should be hitting balls against a wall at this stage, man. I mean. Sorry if I'm being a little bit extra harsh, but
you're not. We love you. Thank you. Carry
some
on.
of the basics. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe it's because they haven't been together for so long. They are coming in from various different clubs with different ideas, different styles of playing football. So it's a bit confused at this stage, and I think we'll see a better performance in the next game for sure. At least a more cohesive performance. But when you see in the pre-match press conference the coach of Myanmar saying against India we don't have a chance, तो उन्होंने पहले से ही अपने हाथ खड़े कर दिए हैं कि हम खेलने आ ही नहीं रहे हैं, right?
वो तो खड़े हुए थे यार, वो तो beginning से दिख रहा था कि वो नहीं है इस
तो
game
fair
में.
enough. तो उस situation में और center में central midfield, I don't know what to say. There's nothing is happening through the middle. I mean, like Climax Lawrence is the last guy who played central midfield for India. Is that the case? Are we just? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So maybe missing Apuya, missing Glenn Martins, these kind of
Yeah.
things are maybe a problem. But the point is, if your league is so strong, I don't know what's happening with the league in Burma, in Myanmar, but the country is in the middle of
भाई
what
लीग का
can
तो
be
नहीं
called a
आप
civil war, pretty much, right? Things are not
True.
easy in that country. There are all kinds of issues happening there, and we have just completed our league season. Some of these players, one of them, Changte, was a player of the league. I mean, you would
I
expect a
know
slightly better
man,
performance
yeah.
from a
Randy
kid
भाई
who's coming in after that kind of a season. Okay, I'm done.
भाई Randy भाई okay, I wanted to get to this comment of the coach and another comment, but because Bhai is talking about Changte, so let's get a little specific. We all know what Changte's quality is. Now, whether that quality is shown in an international game, we haven't seen it, right? We would all agree on that. We haven't seen it. Is it just a matter of this for this kid? Ki, matlab, do you suppose he needs to go back to finding out and reenacting the zone he is for a Mumbai player, saying what makes me feel good, what makes me feel alive, so that I take that with me to the national team? Because when he plays for the national team, he just, मतलब, forget cutting the player, forget anything. आपके सामने क्रॉस आ रहा है तो उसको भी आप वापस लेफ्ट फुट पे लाने की ट्राई कर रहे हो. नहीं नहीं जी, राइट पे तो हम तो मारेंगे ही नहीं. क्रॉस बेचारा मार ही नहीं पाया लड़का, वो गेम में बिल्कुल भी नहीं दिखा है.
Oh, brother, I feel it will be wrong to blame individually. I feel in every play of the Indian team, in the first 11 at least, is way better than Myanmar. And as we have talked in the last show about Bipin and India's Player of the Year, Changte, they have done so well and they have been doing so well in the club level, and they have been struggling to do the same, give the same level of game while playing for India. So let's not now, if we see the Changte is fit, Changte can run, Changte is very, very quick. But did they gel enough? Did they gel well? Did they combine well? No. So let's
Is it mental?
blame. So Changte and Bipin, they're playing on left and right. So when Bipin have the ball, how many players in the box? And how many remaining midfielders were showing the space? How many midfielders were showing the support? So it's not only Changte or it's not. So now to make Changte look better, how many players of Mumbai City players are moving in and out, front and back,
But
to make
Randy,
Changte looks better? Let me finish.
Randy
To
bhai,
make
does that
Changte
mean
looks
they
better.
will never work for the national team
No,
then? Because
so until and unless they work together, when Changte have the ball, what was Jackson doing? What was Anirudh Thapa doing? What was the other? And where was the movement from Sunil? Where is the movement from the right? So let's not blame him. So the moment they start moving, Changte will find space. Changte will find many players to give a pass. Or when Bipin have the ball, we see that there is only one Sunil rushing into the box. How many players we see running into the box? Today, the goal that we had, it's a gift, right? Yes, it's a cross. It's a half-hearted cross, and we got it as a gift, and it's a goal. Goal is a goal. India won today. But how many players are moving? How many players are gelling well? How many players are combining well? So to do this, let's not blame only one person. I know that Bipin, that's why they look so good while playing for Mumbai City. They can't do the same. So it's a work for the whole management, for the whole coaching staff, and all the players to gel better. And you need to do day in, day out. Then only I feel you will see the improved performance from these players.
Ishfaq, I'll word it differently. So the aim was not to single-handedly pick out a player, Randy bhai. The aim was that
I'm
if you
saying
had,
brother. I'm saying that I'm not saying that. I'm saying everyone, even Bipin doesn't look great today, right?
yeah,
Of course,
I
but
know. I was coming
individually,
to that exactly.
but individually they are far way quicker than their. You see how Changte was flying, but then are they doing it well, combining well? No. Did you see the combination between the strikers and the midfielders today when we have the ball? But there was no danger at the back. There was no danger at the back at all. But then do we see to combine that well, the whole team have to work like one unit. Did we see that? Until and unless we will not see Changte and these players doing well for me.
सर देन पहली बात तो आपने बात बिल्कुल सही बोली वहाँ पे, क्योंकि मेरे ख्याल से हमारे छेत्री भाई ने 5-6 बाल तो नोच के बाहर फेंक दिए होंगे, आज इतना गुस्सा आ रहा था बीच में, बिकॉज़ कॉम्बिनेशन नहीं बन रहा था उसका बेचारा वहाँ पे. बट दूसरी चीज़, देन इशफाक, टू व्हाट रेनेडी इज सेइंग, द सिंपल सॉल्यूशन is that you know the quality these two boys bring, Bipin and Chankte. We all know it very well. The simple solution is कि अब ये chopping changing बंद करो. अब इनको रेगुलरली हर 90 मिनट खिलाओ रेगुलरली, तभी तो आपको पता चलेगा 5-6 गेम बाद क्या ला रहे हैं टेबल पे.
Well, जो भाई बोल रहा है, it's really unfortunate. Many times in the national team also, when you come to play, you don't get enough time to gel with together. But I think like sometimes we like we know each other very well. Like I think I think we need. We were a little bit nervous many times. Like as Renedy Bhai said, not great. Build-ups were there. Like maybe availability of players. Let's not. I individually pick, but I think it was over of lack of that gelness together, which may be because of they are playing after 9 months. We might see better team. Like playing because they will have now 3-4 days training also and everything together. Maybe we might see a better teamwork or a build up also. I don't know how good a Kyrgyzstan team is here, whether it's their full strength team or not. Hopefully their full strength team is there, and I think we might see a better team. But yes, you are right. We need to be sure which team is going to play. Our first 11. We have to be. I think coach has to be sure now
किर्गिज
which
में
is his
बदल
first
जाएगी सर
11
टीम,
team.
तो फिर क्या
Huh?
करेंगे? किर्गिज के खिलाफ बदल जाएगी टीम फिर से थोड़ी सी. अब
That's that again the question.
look at
वही तो
Pandit.
रेनेडी भाई, वही तो हो रहा है हर बारी. मैं वही कह रहा हूँ ना कि मतलब आप या तो आप आइडेंटिफाई अगर आपने कर लिए हैं, ये हैप्पी दिवाली काफी टाइम से चले जा रही है कि बुरा ना मानो होली है, आओ जी प्लेइंग 11 खोली है, प्लेइंग 11 खोली है हमने. तो अब आपने किर्गिज को अब आपने बदल दिया. आपने देखा है, आई एम सेइंग वी हैव टू फॉर्मर प्लेयर्स हियर एनी भाई who have seen it, and they are there, and other players have also seen it. There are two boys bombing down the wings who have some potential, right? But Ishwak, that potential will only be realized if you are made to play regularly 90 minutes. Simple.
But see, you have to see the style of the play. If you see how Mumbai plays, see now I will go back to the Reni Dubai. How they get best, how they give best in the clubs. Why don't they give here? You have to see the style of the play also. You see, for example, Akash Mishra. You see how good he looks in Hyderabad. Brilliant up and down. You see the first 45 minutes, how many times you have seen him going, passing his side fullback today?
बहुत कम.
Because already, what is this? Bipin is already wide. There is no place because he played different style in his club. So I think that is where we need to understand. As Renedy Bhai was saying, there are like club players make some players look good because they play to their strengths. For example, he doesn't need to run. He need more crossing. And we know that he will get back. He will somehow reach there. I think he was a little bit unlucky. He got one clear good chance. He couldn't connect it well. So if Sunil is playing, then we should have a simple strategy, get more crosses in. If somebody else is playing, we should have a plan B for them then. So I think that is where, as Renid Bhai was saying, we should try to play according to our strength, which first 11. Now again the question comes, then we might have a different first 11 against Kyrgyzstan, where if Manveer comes, he plays completely. He likes to take on and cuts in, and then if, for example, tomorrow Ashik is also available, he's again a different player than Bipin. So I think it's a coaching challenge, like in future, like for him to pick a 1-11 and then to have a team plan B for rest of the players if he needs something from them in different way. Like even the coach says that there were chances. We also feel there were chances, but we know that you will create with these kind of teams chances. But if Sunil is not firing, then who else will score? So
Exactly.
I come again to that thing. I think maybe we should not criticize much right now. Overall, maybe they played after 9 months together. Let's give coach time this week also. Then we'll see how on 28th, because I think 28th match will be a little bit, like a physical challenge more physically, and they won't be slow either. They are pretty, like fast as well. So I think it's going to be a good match, and I think the weather might suit them only in Manipur. हाँ भाई.
एनी भाई ठंड है रेनेडी भाई. बाय द वे एक कमेंट आया है कि रेनेडी भाई इज लुकिंग लाइक कार्तिक आर्यन. मैं चला देता हूँ वो टॉयलेट यहाँ पे 1 मिनट.
Who is
जबरदस्त
Karthik
comment आया है.
Aryan?
ब्रो ये अपना ना आप ये अपनी कूलनेस ना आप अपने पास रखिए. कार्तिक आर्यन आपको घर पे सता रहे हैं.
Anyway, भाई मैं काफी टाइम से हाथ खड़ा कर रहा हूँ भाई.
Again, you're jumping into Renedy's audio, so just please, and this is not a news show, guys. You don't need to do that.
I'll put it on mute. Yeah.
Annie bhai,
Is it my turn?
Yeah, good. I'm just asking you something, and correct me if I'm wrong. If you had to use one word to describe Mr. Steematch's tenure, for me that word would be confused.
No, man.
I would say confused. Why? In the pre-match also, and I've seen this so many times, they were asking him, "Who are you playing?" He says, "Depends on who you want to play. Are you playing first 11, second 11?" There's nothing like that. He said, "I have 2 players for every position."
Yeah.
Clearly not, sir. Clearly not.
No, that is not the coach's fault, my bhai. I'm sorry. We are saying that we don't want to name individual players, all of this. End of the day, the coach can't go and kick the ball on the pitch for the player. But
the coach can.
In any situation, forget about 2 players. The third 11 that Steematch might field in India today should be able to beat this Myanmar team comfortably. इसमें कोई डाउट नहीं होना चाहिए भाई. ये बहुत ढीला, बहुत वीक परफॉर्मेंस है.
तो फिर क्यों तोते उड़े?
नहीं तोते इसलिए उड़े. एक तो going back to the point that I made in the last when we did the preview show, right? There is no reason. ये IPL के चक्कर में इनको लीग खत्म करना है, ठीक है? तो क्या ये बताओ क्या दिक्कत है? एक मिनट. हाँ ये सॉरी भाई, मुझे नहीं मिलते. मेरी रोटी वहां से नहीं आती ना, तो मैं बोल सकता हूँ.
अरे पर भाई
कोई एक मिनट सुन तो ले भाई. कोई दिक्कत नहीं थी कि 2 हफ्ते का ब्रेक अगर ले लेते. और सब कह रहे हैं कि द टीम नीड्स टू जेल वेल टुगेदर. तो क्या दिक्कत थी? सबको पता है फीफा विंडो कब है ना? सबको पता है. तो 2 हफ्ते का कैंप रखने में क्या दिक्कत थी बता? प्ले ऑफ उसके बाद कर लेते.
मेरे भाई देखो,
पूरे हिंदुस्तान का अगर हम 6 गोल मारते इस टूर्नामेंट में, बात तो खत्म कर लेंगे. 6 अगर गोल मारते हम म्यांमार के खिलाफ, किर्गिज के खिलाफ, तो the excitement to watch the playoffs of the ISL would have been much higher than it was happening before this tournament, right? The national team, we are saying for years that the performance of the national team catalyzes the interest in the sport in the whole country. When the national team does well, the sport grows. There's no indirect correlation in this. Yet you are not prioritizing the national team. You're putting some other priority ahead of it all the time. And why should cricket become a priority ahead of, or broadcast scheduling become a priority ahead of it? Come on. And also clearly this game demonstrates that whatever has happened in the league is not preparing these players to play international football. That much is clear to me from watching 90 minutes of the game.
उससे पहले कौन से तैयार हो रहे थे लड़के? पहली बात. दूसरी बात, आप कह रहे हो कि मतलब जो भी आप कह रहे हो ठीक है. मैं कहाँ तैयार हो रहे थे भाई? प्लीज कम ऑन. फुटबॉल हम भी देख रहे थे उस टाइम पे. कहाँ पे तैयार हो रहे थे वैसे?
हाँ तो I would say like guys like when these guys were playing, the guys who are on the show today, when they were playing,
भाई हमारा प्यार है भाई उनसे. नहीं हम टीम की बात कर रहे हैं भाई. हम टीम की बात कर रहे हैं जिस तरीके से टीम खेल रही है. मैं आपको एक सिंपल सी बात बता रहा हूँ. जो आपके हालात हैं, जो आपकी सिचुएशन है, मैं तो कोच साहब की बात कर रहा हूँ. जो हालात हैं, जो सिचुएशन है, वो ऐसा तो है नहीं कि इसकी कोच साहब आइए, ये लो जी चिट्ठा बदल गया, ये लो जी चिट्ठा बदल गया, ये लो चिट्ठे बदल गया. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. सिचुएशन काफी सिंपल आपके सामने, whether you like it or you don't like it, right? That situation is there in front of you, and that situation is not.
And that's why he said I have no interest in continuing here. Because यहाँ पे किसी को इंटरेस्ट ही नहीं है भाई.
Let him say what he wants to say भाई.
मैं भी कह देता भाई.
अरे भाई इतना फेस वैल्यू पे इतना प्यार क्यों आ रहा है भाई? मैं तो ये कह रहा हूँ कि अगर आपको जो सिचुएशन पता है, आपको सिचुएशन पता है कि आपको इतना टाइम नहीं मिलने वाला, तो फिर आप हर दिन यहाँ पे हैप्पी होली हैप्पी दिवाली क्यों कर रहे हैं? मुझे ये बताइए. जब भी आपको टीम मिलती है आप टीम बदल देते हैं भाई. अबे ये क्या मतलब है? अगर आपको पता है आपके लड़के आपको नहीं मिल रहे हैं रेगुलरली जहां पे, तो व्हाट इज द short वे ऑफ गेटिंग योर टीम टू प्ले अ सर्टेन वे ऑफ फुटबॉल दैट यू वांट, व्हिच इज दैट यू कंटिन्यू प्लेइंग विद दैट 11 12 13 14 players. I am sorry, the rest of you take a hike. Possibly the system is not working for you, possibly the kind of games you're getting or the number of games you're not getting is not working for you. I'm sorry, that's the reality. But as a coach who's played for the Croatia, who's played in the World Cup, I must identify the reality rather than always saying आज जी 3 और डेब्यू दे दिए, लो जी आओ जी यहाँ पड़ा है, प्रेस हुआ है, नया शर्ट, आओ जी बच्चे तुम भी पहनो। अबे तो फिर तब तक तुम ट्राई करते रहोगे ना भाई लड़के, तब तक तो जेल ही नहीं कर पाओगे।
सही
तुम्हें
बात
तो पता है सिस्टम नहीं बदलने वाली है ना, नहीं बदलने वाला सिस्टम। तो तुम आइडेंटिफाई करो कि ये मेरा तरीका है। कॉन्स्टेंटाइन के आप जितने भी क्रिटिकल हो जाओ, ठीक है, पर उस आदमी की एक बात ठीक थी, उसने अपने 14-15 लड़के पकड़ लिए थे और उन 14-15 को घिसाते गया। एंड फॉर सम रीजन आई हैव टू टेल यू, 2019 एशियन कप में जिस इंटेंसिटी से वो लड़के खेले थे, ये लड़के अगर एशियन कप आज खेलने गए तो उस इंटेंसिटी का आधा भी नहीं खेल पाएंगे। उतने पीछे लग रहे हैं वो, लग रहे हैं इस किस्म के, क्योंकि आपने लड़के लगाए ही नहीं है वहां पे भाई। आप हर बारी बदले जा रहे हो। अभी आज एक मेहताब आ गया, अब मेहताब के जगह कल कोई संदेश जंगन आ जाएगा, अब वहां से चांगटे चले जाएगा, वहां से मनवीर आ जाएगा, यहाँ से वो नावरे मौरेश आ जाएगा, यही चले जा रहा है। तो फिर आप कौन होते हो बोलने वाले, आप मुझे कैंप नहीं दे रहे? अरे सर आप क्या कर रहे हो, है कि नहीं?
सही बात है भाई, आई एग्री।
ओह थैंक्स भाई, इट्स अ गुड टाइम टू प्ले द थापा गोल देन। sorry मतलब I don't know, I don't get it. Randy bhai, Rushfaq, anyone wants to comment to this? How would you approach this? I mean, the system is whatever it is, Randy bhai, it won't change, so then how do you work around it?
I agree to some extent, where we need to, as Fark knows, we had a pro license also, we had a discussion quite a lot of time about this. We need to have a philosophy for the national team. So club has got their own philosophy. That's why Mumbai looks good. That's why Kerala plays good football, if you see. Yeah. So we need to have a philosophy. The moment we have a philosophy, the new players coming in, they will have an idea. So abhi usko aasi laake aasi chance nahi dena. Usko come back, bring them on for a training. Let them be in the training. Let them know what the team, what style of play do we India play. So according to that time and months again, weeks and weeks again. Then after that, giving them a chance. So that's why until and unless we don't have a philosophy, whoever is coming in, it's not going to work. It will be the same problem again. Players not gelling well together. So now, Bob Houghton did the same. He had the same squad for many, many years. Like you said, you talk about contestant, like you said, 13, 14 players. So now, coach need to do the same. But every coach has got their own style. If you want to give a chance to a new player, as soon as the players get into the philosophy, it's better. But otherwise, we'll have the same problem. And again, you said about contestant playing well against in Asia team. But let me tell you this: for India, it's difficult to play against Bangladesh. It's difficult to play against a team like Myanmar because they are not going to come out. And if we play with a better team, everyone knows that India to har jayegi, and we will have a lot of space. A counter attack mein throw bhi kar diya, wah hai. So with Bangladesh, that the pressure is really high, and at the moment teams sit down for in their own half, it's not easy. And India ko abhi waisa khelne ke liye, I think we still have to do a lot of work. But India, yahi same team, Kyrgyzstan, मेरे को लगता है Kyrgyzstan के साथ थोड़ा सा अच्छा खेलेगा, because Kyrgyzstan is not going to respect that much कि अपना सीन. The moment Kyrgyzstan come out, we'll have a lot of space and we will utilize the space. So yes, it's difficult for me, yeah. But what I agree to whatever you have said, that we need to have a philosophy, and as the sooner we work on that, it's good for the Indian team.
Sir, sorry, I know you wanted to come in, Ishfaq bhai. Ani bhai, just one last thing I wanted to say. मतलब ये कहाँ की बात हुई कि जी मणिपुर में मैच हो रहे हैं, तो आई एम गिविंग अ लॉट ऑफ मणिपुर प्लेयर्स टाइम. अब उसने ही सेड इट इन एज अ जोक, ही सेड इट, अरे तुम 9 महीने बाद खेल रहे हो, फिर तुम पता नहीं कब खेलने जाओगे, और तुम कह रहे हो यहाँ पे मैं मणिपुरी लड़कों को खिला रहा हूँ क्योंकि मैं मणिपुर में खेल रहा हूँ. अबे क्लब टीम हो रही है, कॉलेज टीम हो रही है, ट्रायल चल रहे हैं, को क्या रहा है भाई साहब. आपको जब जब मौका मिलता है खेलने के लिए, आप अपनी बेस्ट टीम डालो यार. हद्दी हो गई यहाँ पे. मतलब ये कौन मैंने कभी नहीं सुना है बॉब हाउटन कभी बोलेगा जी आओ आज जी मणिपुर में मुकाबला हो रहा है, तो आज जी 7 लड़के खेलेंगे हमारी मणिपुर वाले. लो जी, क्योंकि क्राउड को खुश करना है, हमने वो करना है. टीम की गई, तेल लेने गई टीम.
नहीं, I mean, I guess to an extent भाई, वो 5-6 लड़के तो मणिपुरी हैं ही जो खेल रहे हैं ना. हम लोग ने भी जब आज सुबह अपना 11 डाला था, तो उसमें यासिर था, राइट, Usme, I don't know who are the other Manipuri guys. Jackson was
Yasser is there.
there.
Bipin
I
is
had put
there.
Suresh. I had put Suresh there. Sana was there. So these guys are bound
Yes.
to play, na. So irrespective of when you play a game, where you play a game in an Indian team as of today, there will be 5 or 6 Manipuri guys. So for him to say that Manipuri guy, you'll see a bunch of Manipuri guys, it's just like stating the obvious, na. It's not about like कि मणिपुर में गेम हो रहा है इसलिए मैं मणिपुरी लड़के खिला रहा हूँ मतलब वही बंदे हैं खेलने वाले तो
पर
वही
भाई ने
खेलिए ना
बोला ही
और
भाई
किसको
ने बोला
खिलाएगा
ही वो ये तो ये मतलब ये कौन सी अच्छा, चलो ठीक है, मे बी आई एम टेकिंग इट ऑन फेस वैल्यू.
हाँ तो I mean like I don't know like how many changes would you or I have made in like of course you play the best 11. I mean one way of looking at it is that you want to try a guy like Mehtab out, right? I would have played Anwar if he's fit. I don't know what the issue is because he's your first choice guy. Him and Sana to me are the first choice central defenders. So you give them as much game time as you can. Straightforward, right? Bringing Mehtab in maybe was an opportunity to see how he does, how he copes with the pressure. Unfortunately, against this Myanmar team, there was nothing to really do for him. So you don't even get a sense of how good he is or isn't at the international level in that sense. So I don't know, man. It's a tough situation either way. There's no clear-cut answer to this from a coaching point of view. I don't know
No,
how you can do things
Ishfaq.
differently.
When you're Ishfaq, when you're playing a boy at a higher level, you've seen something in the boy, and you're saying, "Chalo ji, lao." How many games does it take for you as a coach to say this boy belongs here or doesn't belong here? Or is it just something you see and say, "Ki nahi ji, ab nahi hoga"?
Well, in club level, like usually you have foreign players also, so you may sometimes try him with the senior foreign player, but you usually we know in Kerala, we bring our young guys who has performed in club level or somewhere else. We'll make sure him to first get the same intensity training and then slowly introduce him. That's how we did recently with Vibin, which I was telling you. The guy is under 20 who run around 12 kilometers in both the matches he played. And I think that is the way to introduce a player. Sometimes it's a too much to ask a new player to come in to play in first 11. But I agree, if Anwar was he in the team list?
He's there, sir.
Yeah, he was there. Anwar was there.
He's there.
Maybe I would have.
He's there.
Maybe a big different coaches, like me as Renedy Bhai and me, we said like coaches all have a different philosophies. We discuss a lot nowadays because we are doing pro together with our like coach education director also. We discuss like what should be the philosophy for our country and everything, because all the coaches are there, all of them are there like this lot, like the first time it's happening, all 17 coaches are from India who are doing the pro license, and most of them have played the game and are doing coaching as well. I think there are different views, but if you ask my personal view, I would have played Anwar with who's my first 11 player, and then would have thought of giving debut a young player with him so that they can manage and see how the couple would have looked like, rather than giving one young player and the guy who you are not sure whether you are looking for his replacement. So, but as I told you, there is no right and wrong. Like sometimes coaches do tend to think differently, but maybe this is we are judging them too much from the first match. I think there will be like the coming match.
But sir, कहानी वही है ना कि वो फर्स्ट मैच के बाद सेकंड मैच कब आएगा, उस सेकंड मैच में कितने मिनट मिलेंगे, वही गैप इतना लंबा पड़ रहा है.
Yeah, that we all agree. Like as Renedy Bhai said, as even when I was with the national, there was like when Renedy Bhai or Bhaichung Bhai was there was a group of players who coaches used to call all the time and then introduce in between new player. And I myself was introduced immediately after LG Cup, not before that, or then only giving camps, not a debut at all. I played pre-Olympic, Renedy Bhai remembers, because senior and under 23 were together only. So So, like I think those coaches were thinking that way and having a group of players, and maybe the philosophy they recognized we wanted this kind of football to be played, whether it's direct football or position based football, which is not an issue, which is everybody has their own style. I think that helps sometimes when you have a group of players who already know what you want and what you don't want. Then introducing in between new players. Honestly, I'm not against any player. Everybody has performed, but I was not expecting some players getting debut immediately. Like right now. That's my personal, not against coach, but that's how I see it. I'm not saying they should or not be. They should be there. They should be in the second camp also, and see how the rest of the players are playing and get that hang of that atmosphere being in national team. But yes, sometimes there are talented players who can come and play, but that happens once in a while and once in a lifetime. Like Messi or Ronaldo, they are the players at different level.
No, sorry to jump in. I mean, I agree with what everyone is saying about the philosophy, and in that sense, Pandit, I agree with you also that confusion is there, because I think if we are to have a cohesive philosophy, then it doesn't matter who the opposition is, right? We play the way we want to play because those are the players. That is our reality, right? So, like we were talking today in the morning, Pandit, कि या तो 1-0 होगा या 3-0 होगा ना. तो अब क्या हुआ, middle of the park हो गया. It could have been 3-0 if we had taken the chances, but it ended up being 1-0. But not because the idea should have been to hold the ball, to dominate, to even sit back if you want. No need to press. If you don't have those players who can create something magical in the middle, then you sit back, keep the ball, make the other team do the work. No, make them run, tire them out. If your league is stronger than their league, make them put in all the effort. You're playing at home. Let them go and try and get a result, right? And show how well you can shut shop, right? Because that is, when we go to the Asian Cup, that is how we will have to play. So forget about, we might want to play 10 different kinds of football, and crowds might want to see all kinds of things. But the reality of it today is that if the national team has to have decent performances, we have to play by and large a defensive style of football. And because you have this pace on the wings, which you need to exploit on the counter, that is how you have to play. I don't think there's any real sort of two thoughts on this, right? I don't know, Randy, Ishfaq, I don't know, Pandit, I don't know if you guys agree with that or not, but those are our strong points, right? So against a team that is weaker, get used to having the ball with yourself. Get used to making the weaker team do the work like other teams would do. Like जैसे जब भाई लोग जब जापान के साथ खेलते थे तो भागते थे ना भाई बिना बॉल के, चेसिंग और क्या, तो कराओ ना फिर म्यांमार वालों को ये सब, Bangladesh, etc.
Brother, sorry to jump in here. Can you please put the yeah. So now इसने बोला जापान जैसा भगाने के लिए जापानीज लोग 30 साल, हम लोग का आगे 30 साल से बॉल के साथ काम कर रहे हैं. तो अभी हम लोग को म्यांमार को भगाने के लिए, बांग्लादेश को भगाने के लिए वी हैव टू वर्क विद द बॉल. अपना प्लेयर लोग में कितना जो कंफर्टेबल है बॉल के साथ वो है. आई फील दैट इंडियन प्लेयर्स आर रियली स्ट्रांग. दे हैव गॉट स्पीड, वी कैन सी द स्ट्रेंथ, यू कैन सी द पावर. लेकिन बॉल के साथ म्यांमार ज्यादा, लाइक इशफाक से म्यांमार बहुत कंफर्टेबल देख रहा था. तो म्यांमार बॉल के साथ कंफर्टेबल था, बट दे आर नॉट एज फिट एज इंडिया, दे आर नॉट एज स्ट्रांग एज इंडिया. लेकिन कंफर्टेबल म्यांमार ज्यादा था बॉल के साथ. सो भगाने के लिए बॉल के साथ कंफर्टेबल होना पड़ेगा, अदरवाइज हम लोग सब एथलीट बन जाएंगे. सो यस, so we have got strength, we have got speed. The only thing is now we have to work with the ball. आज होगा, कल होगा, no, it will take a long time. So that उसके लिए again we come back to grassroots. It's no point talking to the grassroots because ये 420 ग्राम grassroots करके रहता है. So we need players to be more comfortable with the ball. So do we have that right now? To some extent, yes. Sunil is the one of the best, and he's going to retire in few months or a year time. So कितना तो अपना players who is comfortable with the ball. So it's a very good discussion, I feel, but it's still a long way.
Randy bhai,
yeah.
हाँ जी, sorry Ishwak, आप
Pandit,
Yeah.
same thing. When you asked me that, I said the same thing. If you see from the TV now, Renriba was watching in the live there. You see many close pockets when Myanmar was having the ball. They
Yes.
didn't lose it.
They
They
didn't lose
kept
it.
it like even tight situations. I agree with Renriba. Up front, they didn't have the firepower we had, and like that is the reality. Like even this with this Myanmar team, they look more comfortable with the ball than us. We had power. We could have scored more goal definitely. Kind of a direct football there and counter attack, which might be our strength. It's right. We should play out on our strength. Now imagine if we have that strength and then we add up the comfortness of ball to our team. That is where we are behind now. As we discuss, as Randy was already telling, this is the main discussion going in our pro license also. That is where we need to, that's why I have been telling everywhere that we need better coaches in grassroots, not on top of the pyramid. We need there, but we need down also, like really really good coaches. But unfortunately in our society, that is where we neglect that part. And we वो होता है ना, मतलब हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं, हम काम चलाओ. लाइक हम लोग वी ब्रिंग सी लाइसेंस कोच और डी लाइसेंस कोच, भाई इससे ही काम चलाते हैं, उसको थोड़ा पैसा देके, एंड वी गेट स्केयर्ड टू स्पेंड मनी देयर. एंड दैट इज वेयर we need to respect coaches, bring good coaches there. There are quite a few good coaches who are working in those positions. Reliance is one where Arata and all these guys are working, like doing a good job. But we don't need it only in one place. We need it in every place. I think all over pan India, I'm saying we need good coaches. I say we don't, please forget this thing. We can put A license and pro license head of the youth development, give them chances there. But don't think that this is a youth, we need to pay them $50 daily. So,
ये बात आपकी सही है।
अरे
एनी
अब
भाई,
पंडित भाई देख लो, एनी भाई का इतना प्यार, हाँ फैन से, वाह वाह,
अरे
एनी भाई ने
सर ये
मारा, हाँ.
पर रेडी भाई,
Yeah.
power of putting this on camera is in my hand, so that means somewhere I am agreeing with them, and this is me saying कि एनी भाई ये तो अब अपना, ये तो ब्यूटी है हमारे शो का कि everyone is in love with each other, but we also have difference of opinions, and we
Yeah.
keep it standing there.
Yeah.
But sir, मैं on this point, and I'm just going to move on from this. Randy bhai,
Brother, I'm sorry to interrupt. My battery is going to run out any
okay,
moment because
last.
I'm not at home. Yeah, because my battery will run out.
हम लोग ज्यादा मत घूमो भाई
Tell me.
रात को.
नहीं, direct we have come straight from the match, भाई. Direct
Randy
match से
bhai,
इधर आया, हाँ.
आप
The
लग रहे हो
office,
कार्तिक
हाँ.
आर्यन,
Yes, FF
आप लग रहे
office
हो
में.
कार्तिक आर्यन,
हाँ.
आप कार्तिक आर्यन लग रहे हो, but Randy bhai, would another way of a reasoning for why so much chopping and changing is happening? You would agree there's chopping and changing happening, a lot of it, right? Within the national team. I don't think anyone needs to be an expert to figure it out. Would that the reason be that he still doesn't have faith कि ये मेरा काम कर देंगे? एक होता ना भरोसा कि जी ये मेरा काम कर देंगे, हट, अब मैंने इधर उधर देखना नहीं है, मेरा भरोसा है. अगर भरोसा नहीं तो आप ढूंढते रहते हो, आप देखते रहते
brother,
हो.
I can totally understand. If you look at all the big leagues in the world, from Italian league to La Liga to the Premiership, players they don't have that much time with the national team, right? So they can pick up any damn player and put it in as a debutant or whatever, give them a chance. But India वो ऐसा level का नहीं हुआ है अभी भी. And as a coach, when you are not sure, he will keep looking for the players. लेकिन आप थोड़ा एक player को patience दे के, like we all were talking, उसको like Ishfaq said, like you said and Annie said, if you can give little more time to the players, उसको भी थोड़ा settle down का time मिलेगा, उसको भी to understand his situation, philosophy, time लगेगा, लेकिन उसको भी तो दिमाग में आएगा. So until and unless हम लोग एक player अच्छा खेला, आसिफ शक्ति अच्छा खेला, हाँ उसको जरूर like Ishfaq said कैंप में बुलाओ, लेकिन it doesn't mean that अभी चांस दे कि अभी उसको 5 मिनट दे इतना खुश कर दे कि अभी वो कुछ कर देगा. हाँ, प्लेयर खुश होगा, whatever. If I was a young player getting a chance, for me by 2 मिनट के लिए मिलेगा, I will be the happiest person. but will that help the whole? अब एक अच्छा पक्का वाला like 13, 14 or 15 players का आप जो proper 15 players का जो chance होना चाहिए वो रहेगा वो नहीं रहेगा फिर if you want to keep everyone happy. But all due respect, that's his style. But like Ishfaq said, if we were there, of course yes, we'll have 15, 16 pure 16 players, and after that player जो अच्छा खेलता है उसको बुला के 15-20 दिन उसको training करा के then we will send him back. Of course he will not be happy just to train because this is a new generation, but then this is the way to improve, I feel, because सबको chance देते रहेगा तो everyone will be happy, the family will be happy, the fans will be happy, but we will not have that we talk about the combination, वो उतना नहीं रहेगा.
रेडी भाई, सबसे ज्यादा जरूरी सवाल तो अब आपसे पूछना है मैंने, बिफोर वी कैन लेट यू गो. आज पार्टी कहाँ पे हो रही है, किसके कमरे में हो रही है? क्या उनका नाम SC11 है? क्या वहां पे कुछ होने वाला है? हमें बताइए. हम दिल्ली में बैठे हैं अभी. मैं हेलो रेडी भाई, बैटरी इज गॉन. लो जी, जिसे कहते हैं गोल. Bro, you can call Randy bhai into your frame if you want, because that is the most important question. Yeah, ये
इधर ये देख रहा है.
It's gone.
Randy bhai, it's gone.
हम लोग सुन रहे हैं, कोई बात नहीं.
It's on mute.
No, खोल दिया. Oh, you can't hear because the headphone.
पार्टी कहाँ हो रही है? Just ask Randy bhai, where's the party happening?
भाई पार्टी जहाँ भी हो रही है हमें तो किसी ने बुलाया नहीं.
पार्टी नहीं, I'm a married man. अभी कल मेरा CFA का मैच है. I have to travel. भाई का पार्टी चलेगा इसके बाद. और दिल्ली का काफी दोस्त लोग आया हुआ है.
भाई ये तो भाई सही कमेंट आया, अब मैं निकलूंगा.
Randy bhai, much love Randy bhai, thank you so much. Thank you. Bhaijan, do you also have to leave? Do you have 5-10 minutes? Ishfaq, do you have 5-10 minutes?
हाँ, करो खत्म.
Ishfaq, so bhai, what's the scene now in these 4-5 days? What's the plan now for the team? Just give us a bit of what you can expect them to be doing. They're just going to be, because the 6-day gap is quite a bit, so you just train, and I'm guessing you do your media commitments, right?
Yeah. That's about it, I guess. Sorry, I don't know. Go on.
नहीं, मुझे लगता है that's how it is. Like the players who will get recovery time, and then there might be a 1 day off. I don't know for them, the players who played, and overall, I think the young players he must have already seen, and now I think coach might make a decision who to play against Kyrgyzstan. Maybe he might go with the strongest team, whatever the players he has there. He needs physicality with them, and you might see everybody playing now.
How did you like Mahesh? For whatever little small you saw of him, or is this right to judge him right now?
I think still time with this team, we cannot tell. Like as you rightly said, even the other players he has left out who are in the reserves, if they would have been there, they would have still been better than them. So I don't think we should judge anything from this match. And yes, had they scored the goal, we would have been probably happy no matter what game, but we would have still said certain things which we always want to say. And I think only the goal scoring we would still love to see, they keeping ball in between, like when teams are sitting, go around, keep it, no problem, get ready for counterattacks. Let defense work sometimes, and yes, as Randy bhai said, we were looking physically strong, faster than them. We created more chances, good number of opportunities, and which actually should have been scored. But yes, as anybody was saying, whether players were happy or no, fans were happy because they are knowledgeable. They feel that we didn't play the football we wanted to see against Myanmar. Maybe that is where we need to change our philosophy when we are playing with these kind of teams. Like we need to play attractive football sometimes, which is very important. You can say when we are playing with a stronger team, for example, when we draw against Qatar, nobody cared, cared like whether we are playing good football or not.
Absolutely.
Everybody,
Yeah.
including me, Randy Bhai, will be saying that's a fantastic. Imagine we playing a draw
Yeah.
against Japan.
वो तो दिल वाला गेम है ना सर, आपने दिल दिखाना है उसमें, तो सीधी सी
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Nobody will, because fans are educated now, and everybody knows that this match you need only effort, every every bit of it, and then you won't discuss the game strategy or game playing because they are much superior than you and they are higher level. They were the Asian champions that time, but when we play with the Myanmar, and that these questions will always, no matter which coach will be there, no matter who will be there, no players, even the players, and the current players and or after them, if you don't dominate with the possession wise and create those chances, this discussion will be always there.
Yes sir, ये बात तो सही है आपकी. कहीं ना कहीं Indian football you move round and round in circles, I'm guessing. हाँ जी भाई, आप आ रहे थे, sorry.
नहीं, मैं इतना ही कह रहा था कि अभी ये obviously everyone had gone to watch the game and we all came back. Everyone is staying in this same hotel, and like good Russians, the entire Kyrgyz coaching staff, they all smoke. So obviously they don't know that I understand a little bit of Russian. So I met that whole bunch at the smoking area, and they're taking it pretty seriously. So
what did they say about the team? Did they say anything?
What is? Yeah, I mean, like they were telling the local liaison guys that you need to prioritize our training sessions now because India's next match is 6 days later. We have to play against Myanmar in 3 days' time, and we have to prepare our players. So you have to make sure that we get priority. Training grounds are limited. I think there's some miscommunication, I guess, between the local organizing committee and the federation and those the usual kind of management issues that come up when these things happen. So there are grounds here, but I don't think enough warning was given for those grounds to be prepared as training venues so that each team can have enough time and when they want it. Those issues are there, but they appear to be quite serious about how they are approaching this tournament. And therefore, like I'm sure they are playing a full strength team, at least, or maybe they are trying out some of their players. I don't know. I honestly, we don't know very much about Kyrgyz football. Let's be honest about that. So we can't really judge who the best players are or not. But as far as India are concerned, I think the next few days, like already in the second half, I think we saw a little bit better kind of cohesion. At least to some extent.
Isn't that Murzaev from Kyrgyzstan, bhai?
Yeah.
He's a good player.
I think so. Yeah. I know they. I mean, so they have
physical hai, fast hai.
Right, they have that Soviet tradition. So, like, I mean, they were playing in the Soviet Union, the leagues with everyone else. So the tradition of football is there. It's one of the top sports in these countries, and so we can expect a very different kind of game, I think, on the 28th than the game we saw today, and therefore that much more pressure on Stimac and whoever he picks. I think he'll try to pick, like you were saying, the strongest 11 that he can possibly field.
But when is the match? Myanmar versus Kyrgyzstan.
I think 25 को है.
Next one, हाँ.
25 को है.
25
को और फिर 28 को अपना है.
चलो उधर भी पता चलेगा ना the level.
हाँ, पता तो चल जाएगा.
हाँ, थोड़ा बहुत देखने को मिलेगा. I think हाँ, थोड़ा बहुत देखने को तो मिलेगा. But I don't think, honestly speaking, there will be very much जो हमने देखा आज. I don't think Myanmar have that attacking kind of firepower or whatever you want to call it to really trouble those guys. So I think who wins this tournament will come down to what happens in the final game. And it's going to be that will be more of kind of like a challenge in the sense that more of an indication of what might happen at the Asian Cup, for me at least, closer to at least that level of competition than what we saw today.
Kind of.
ठीक है भाई. Ishwak, thank you so much for joining us, sir. Once again, much love to all of you. Ani भाई, सबसे ज़्यादा ज़रूरी सवाल आपसे फिर से, कहाँ जा रहे हैं आप
Yes,
पार्टी
sir.
करने के लिए, क्योंकि हम तो शादीशुदा लोग हैं, हम तो सीधा कमरों में जा रहे हैं, बच्चों को सुलाएंगे, कल सुबह होके बादाम और वॉलनट्स खा के अपनी सेहत बनाएंगे। तो कुछ हमें आप दो, ताकि आपके थ्रू योर दिस थिंग वी कैन पार्टी, reminisce
live
about the old times.
vicariously through my experiences, huh?
Yes.
सही है। ये सब भाई रिवील नहीं होता है, बिकॉज एक्चुअली अगर मैं सच्चाई बताऊंगा तो सब डिसअपॉइंट हो जाएंगे, तो कोई फायदा नहीं है।
ठीक है भाई डन।
थोड़ा तंदूरी चिकन खाएंगे और चुपचाप सो जाएंगे। कल सुबह हम जा रहे हैं उखरूल, होपफुली वहाँ सोमाटाई शाइजा मिलेंगे हमें, उनसे थोड़ा बातचीत करेंगे, खाना वाना खाएंगे उनके साथ, थोड़ा पहाड़ों के नज़ारे लेंगे और वापस आएंगे, फिर ट्रेनिंग देखेंगे उसके बाद परसों से।
For the young kids who don't know, yeah,
पक्का भाई
सोमाटाई शाइजा was player थे भाई, quality player, but जो है सो है।
My first,
Jersey, yeah.
I remember, I think Jersey, yeah. Z Churchill brothers, the team was called at that time. I think they lost in the Durand finals to East Bengal, maybe. This was in 1999 or 2000. I'm not sure. Maybe 2000.
तेजिंदर भी खेल रहा था, तेजिंदर भाई
हाँ, yeah. Solid team that was, yeah. And he had that. Obviously, if you see Soso today, he doesn't look like the same guy at all. But that's life.
ठीक है guys, once again lovely having all of you on board, and I think we've had about 350 regular throughout the discussion, so that's good. We of course in the space of these 5 days,
why only 28 likes guys though?
नहीं, आप रिफ्रेश करो भाई। I think
इतने सारे लोग देख रहे हैं, सिर्फ 28।
But भाई let's be different now. हम why should we run after likes? No bro, don't like us. We are to saying
हमारा काम वो नहीं है।
Don't like us, just cut our clips and play them everywhere. But much love to all of you. Thank you so much, and take care everyone. Thank you so much for this. Good night.